Alrighty guys, we're back for some Golgari Legends, and this is a March of the Machine, the Aftermath Standard Brew. We're going to go over the deck, then hop right into some ranked, but first things first, for anyone who may not know, I'm Red Cat and I play aggro decks and any decks with red in them as well, so I hope that sounds fun to ya. Also, we do got that Discord link as well as that brand new Patreon link down in the description if you're interested in joining either of those up. Okay, what do we got in the build here? We'll start at the beginning. We got 2 Ashnod, Flesh Mechanist. This is a 1 mana 1/1 legendary creature. It's got Death Touch whenever Ashnod Flesh Mechanist attacks. You may sacrifice another creature. If you do, create a tapped Power Stone token. Outside of Ashnod, I don't know how much those Power Stones are actually going to be doing, but that bottom ability here for 5 mana. Exile a creature card from your graveyard, create a tapped 3/3 colorless zombie artifact creature token. Pretty cool creature, guys, it really is, mainly in here because it is legendary, but there are some cards that work with that sacrifice. So we got a couple Corrupted Convictions. This is a 1 mana instant speed. As an additional cost to cast this spell, sacrifice a creature, draw 2 cards. So I was trying to find similar effects that are available in Standard, and I was trying to find, I guess, a better one. You guys will have to let me know. Is this the best one? It's only 1 mana. It's definitely something to think about, and we do have stuff that works with the sacrificing, which we'll go over in just a second. Got a single Cult Conscript, just a great creature that we can easily sacrifice and eventually bring back as well. Had a lot of good fortune with Cult Conscript, honestly. There's just been a lot of moments where bringing it back from the grave after like a board wipe or something just happens to win us the game against control and stuff. So we have 4 Gnawing Vermins. It's a 1 mana 1/1. When it enters the battlefield, target player mills 2 cards. In this deck, you're actually just going to be milling yourself with the Vermin. The bottom ability, when it dies, target creature you don't control gets -1/-1 until end of turn. That could be pretty good, man. We could start pinging some Phoenix chicks with this and stuff like that. So yeah, not bad. Got all 4 go for the throats because spot removal. Yep. We got 3 Jadar, Ghoulcaller of Nephalia. This is a 2 mana 1/1 legendary creature. At the beginning of your end step, if you control no creatures with Decayed, create a 2/2 black zombie creature token with Decayed. Nice. We don't see enough Jadar, honestly. We really don't. Got all 4 Vraans in here. Executioner Thanes. This is a 2 mana 2/2. It's a legendary creature. Whenever 1 or more other creatures you control die, each opponent loses 2 life and you gain 2 life. This ability triggers only once each turn. So once on your turn, once on your opponent's turn. That adds up pretty fast if you can pull that off, right? Which is one of the reasons to actually have the Corrupted Conviction style effect at instant speed, right? Doing this on your opponent's turn is going to come in handy often, I would say. There are going to be moments too where maybe you drop a go for the throat on your own creatures just to maybe wrap up a game or something, or play like a second Vraan and have the legendary effect kill one, right? I guess that's a possibility as well. I don't know how often that comes into play, but we got all 4 of them because this is going to have a huge target on its back. Okay, the 3 mana cards, we got 3 Braids, Arisen Nightmares. This is a 3 mana 3/3 legendary creature. At the beginning of your end step, you may sacrifice an artifact, creature, enchantment, land, or planeswalker. If you do, each opponent may sacrifice a permanent that shares a card type with it. For each opponent who doesn't, that player loses 2 life and you draw a card. So that's another thing you could do with the Ashnod's Power Stones as well. You could sacrifice the Power Stones since it does say artifact here. And it doesn't say anything about non-token, so yep, the Power Stones work. The Decayed Zombies off of Jadar works as well. Braids is actually a pretty solid card, guys. I'm surprised we don't see more of it in other builds and stuff. You could do things like sacrifice your Gnawing Vermin, and again, like that -1/-1 will come in handy. It will definitely pick up some Phoenix chicks at some point. That is a very played creature. Actually, there's a lot of creatures that -1/-1 actually hits, huh? And then, of course, if you have Vraan on the board with your Braids, then things get out of hand very fast. We got a single Wrenn and Realmbreaker in here. 3 mana 4 loyalty, legendary planeswalker. Lands you control have tap, add 1 mana of any color. I guess that could come in handy. So you got the +1. Add or sorry, up to one target land you control becomes a 3/3 elemental creature with vigilance, hexproof, and haste until your next turn. It's still a land. Now it's worth noting, mainly for myself, that that land does not untap. So if you want to use that land to protect Realmbreaker, Wrenn and Realmbreaker, then you do want to have 4 mana and then target the one that you didn't tap to play the Wrenn and Realmbreaker, right? It's got a -2, mill 3 cards. You may put a permanent card from among the milled cards into your hand. Pretty good. And then we got a -7. You get an emblem with, you may play lands and cast permanent spells from your graveyard. Nice. Not bad at all. It really isn't. We got a couple of Glissa Sunslayers here. It's a 3 mana 3/3 with first strike, death touch. It's a legendary creature, of course, and when it deals combat damage to a player, you get to choose one of these abilities. You can either draw a card, lose 1 life, or destroy target enchantment, which a lot of enchantments floating about, or remove up to 3 counters from target permanent. Pretty good card. It really is. Speaking of pretty good cards, we don't see Old Rutstein too often, but I think it's actually decent. You know whose fault not seeing Old Rutstein is? I know, I always blame this card. Dude, Cut Down, man. Cut Down ruins so many cool creatures because you play Old Rutstein for 3 mana, and it just feels really bad because the opponent spends 1 mana to cut it down, but still. So it's a 3 mana, 1/4 legendary creature. When Old Rutstein enters the battlefield, and at the beginning of your upkeep, you mill a card. If a land card is milled this way, you create a treasure token. If a creature card is milled this way, create a 1/1 green insect creature token. And if a non-creature, non-land card is milled this way, then you create a blood token. Pretty good, guys. Honestly, just like generating extra things that we can sacrifice to Braids and stuff isn't going to be bad at all. The ramp off the treasure is fine. Extra creatures to sacrifice to things like Corrupted Conviction's fine. And every ability on Old Rutstein is going to be completely fine in this build. Got a single Urg Spawn of Turgs. This is a 3 mana. It's got a 5 toughness, and its power is equal to the number of land cards in your graveyard. So I don't know how often it's going to be huge, but I'll tell you what, that 5 toughness will come in handy for sure. It's going to be a great blocker. At the beginning of your upkeep, you surveil 1, which could be pretty good. So you look at the top card of your library, you may put it into your graveyard. Not bad. Then we got, for a black and a green, you can sacrifice a land and you gain 2 life. We actually played a dedicated Urg list a while ago, a long while ago, actually. Maybe we should revisit that at some point because it was pretty fun. And Urg is like actually just not a bad card. It really isn't. Hopefully we get to see it do a thing. Okay, getting into our top end, we have 3 Sheoldred because it's Sheoldred, man. And it's legendary, so. We got a single Nemata Primeval Warden. This is a 4 mana 3/4 with reach. If a creature an opponent controls would die, exile it instead. When you do, create a 1/1 green Saproling creature token. And then, for 1 green, you can sacrifice a Saproling. Wow, that is difficult to say. Nemata Primeval Warden gets +2/+2 until end of turn. And then for 1 and a black, you can sacrifice 2 of the Saprolings to draw a card. It's an interesting card, guys. I actually think it's pretty decent, but I guess its stats could be a little better for being 4 mana, but when we have all 4 go for the throats in here, I think it's going to be pretty easy to generate some tokens with this. And then again, we can easily have those tokens to sacrifice to Braids or our Corrupted Conviction or even our Ashnod, right? So the very top end, we got a couple Thrun, Breaker of Silence. Heck yeah, dude. 5 mana, 5/5. This spell can't be countered. It has trample. It can't be the target of non-green spells an opponent's control, so everything from all the opponents. Or abilities from non-green sources that opponents control as well. And then as long as it's your turn, it has indestructible. Just an absolutely just insane. Like, the power level on this card blows my mind, dude. The fact that we never see it, insane. Got a single Junji, the Midnight Sky here as well. 5 mana, 5/5, legendary creature. It's got Flying, Menace, nice. When it dies, choose one. So each opponent discards 2 cards, loses 2 life. And then here, you could put a non-dragon creature card from a graveyard onto the battlefield under your control, and you lose the 2 life. Pretty good card, guys. It really is. I kind of said that for like everything in the deck, but yeah, the deck's power level is, as far as cards go, is actually just pretty decent overall, huh? Got 24 total land. We got all 4 Plaza of Heroes. Probably going to be one of the most important pieces of land. The worst case scenario is you see like 3 Plaza of Heroes and none of your legendary cards, which I don't think happens too often. Got all the wastes, we got all the Deathcap Glades, leaning heavily towards the swamps because that's what the deck is heavily leaning towards, right? We got a Who Endures, Abandoned Mire, obviously. A lot of honorable mentions that I'm actually not going to take too much time to go over. I just want to bring them up as cards that I potentially thought about for the build. Gix is a powerful legendary creature. Enemies Might could have been a cool one in here. Pelucranos could have been neat, but the triple green's pretty expensive, huh? I almost made this a Titania build, but that's for another day, huh? Thought about Tyvar. The 5-mana Sheoldred, Vorinclex could have been neat. Wrenn and 7, that's one that we don't see too often anymore. The other Glissa could have been a neat one, I guess. Invasion of Fiora. I really didn't want to lean this too heavily into mid-range. You know, I am an aggro player, and so I don't know. We could easily make this more mid-range, though. An Invasion of Fiora could be a one-sided board wipe often. Honestly, underplayed board wipe. I know it's 6 mana, but it's not that hard to get to 6 mana or ramp up to it for that matter. So I keep your eye on this card, honestly. I feel like it's kind of insane. Vivian, I thought about. We have a lot of creatures in here, man. Vivian could have been neat. And then I almost said the new Nissa, but it's actually a couple sets back now, isn't it? So yeah, I thought about Nissa as well. Okay, guys, is that everything? Yes, I believe so. There's actually a lot of different things packed in here. Now, it looks like we're like heavily leaning in the 3-drops, but if you look here in the curve, it curves out kind of sort of nicely, and obviously more 2-drops than our 3-drops, even though it doesn't look like it here. All right, guys, let's go ahead, take this into ranked, and see how we do. All right, what am I expecting from the build? You know what? As much as we play like a bunch of different janky brews and stuff and a bunch of like off-meta brews, there's just like so many powerful creatures and stuff packed in here. It's got to do a thing eventually, right? So I guess I'm expecting a little bit here. Like, look at this hand, dude. This looks great. Awesome. We got a 1, 2, 3. Even when we're doing our best to curve out properly in a tried and true deck, it doesn't always work out to where we have a 1, 2, 3, so. All right. Another Deathcap. Luckily, Plaza of Heroes. And we're going to attempt the Vraan before the swing. Okay. Just in case they wanted to, like, they would want to spot remove before the swing, or before Vraan hits the board then. This is definitely the type of deck that's going to pick up that Vraan anyways. So, I guess Glissa after combat is fine. If we play Glissa before combat, then they'd want to pick up the Glissa with the spot removal. Which means the Vraan would have survived and they would have lost the 2 and everything, but I think Glissa is just better to have on the board here anyway. Or Glissa? Glissa? I think it's Glissa. I don't know. I feel like I've pronounced it both ways. Trespasser's bad. Trespasser's really bad. The Exiles from the Grave, too. Oh, jeez. Rune. Rune's gonna be great. Oh, the first strike on the Sunslayer is awesome, though. Play Vraan before combat. I feel like that would be good practice, especially if they were untapped, right? I think keeping our hand stocked could be good. Obviously, there's no counters anywhere to remove, but yeah. That was another reason why I considered the invasion for the list. 4 mana open. Let's see, go for the throw Trespasser. They might just be keeping a Wandering Emperor open, guys. Which would be pretty bad, because they wouldn't have to go -2. They could go +1 onto Trespasser, and that would... No. Death Touch first strike's disgusting, isn't it? We don't get to play with cards like Sunslayer too often. Switches to nighttime. Sheoldred, wow. Wow. Good draw. This Thrun's going to be insane too. The biggest concern then, of course, is a board wipe. If we want to play around a board wipe, let's start with drawing. Swing with the Sunslayer, draw a card, see what we see. It is going to be the Wandering Emperor, so they can go -2 on it. Wandering Emperor on the board, they got their Glutton. I don't think it's going to be a board wipe, guys. Back up to 18. I'm going to get that Thrun down. Yeah, it could easily be a Sunfall deck, but this Graveyard Trespasser / Glutton is throwing me off, man. I don't know what kind of Orzhov build it is. All I know is I've been seeing a lot more Orzhov recently, man, and it's scary business. Orzhov mid-range. They could get some damage through. We'd probably just chump with the Vermin, then Vraan does a thing. The reason we went Thrun last turn is because, yeah, it's really hard for them to target. It's got a little trample too, so they might just go plus keep a blocker back. Or if they have another Wandering Emperor in hand, maybe they'll just generate a creature. Go plus, blocker back, or is it going to be a swing? It does have first strike for the turn too, so we'll jump with the Vermin. It's too bad it's -1/-1 instead of like damage, but totally fine. Vraan does the thing. And I guess we are forced to target with the No, we don't have to pay the ward cost, so that's how that works. Decline. Back down to 17. And then we're back up to 19. Pretty cool, pretty cool. Sheoldred. Okay. Alright, let's get that draw. Luckily, the Indestructible's great. Ow. Alright, swing with the Thrun. Thrun's disgusting, dude. Although they definitely block. But yeah, the Indestructible and everything. I wouldn't mind keeping Plaza of Heroes open, but it's just hexproof Indestructible, so a Sunfall would still pick it up. Maybe they'll let their Wandering Emperor die if they decide their Sheoldred's more important. Right? I don't know which 4-drop's more important for them. They don't know we have a Sheoldred in hand, so that kind of makes this go back and forth a little bit. We're playing creatures out because this just doesn't feel like a deck that's running board wipes, or a lot of board wipes at that. This is an even matchup, man. We definitely need to see a little bit more, though, because they have a ton of cards in hand. Oh, no!
Nobody knows Dominaria.
Oh, the sacrifice. What do we get rid of here?
One of your friends has to leave.
I guess Vraan. I would have loved to keep Vraan on this board state. But yeah, no. Sheoldred's way more valuable. Go for the swings. Do we take out Glutton here? Do we take this opportunity to take down the Glutton? Them just scooping up our graveyard this whole game definitely sucks a little bit, but we don't have too much that plays off the graveyard. The Glutton's been a problem. Sheoldred will eventually be a problem, but we do have 4 go for the throats in here. I feel like this is a worthwhile trade. Tenacious Underdog. Dude. Scary business. Another Vraan. Okay. We're definitely just playing it all out, man. Swinging at the Liliana. Got to get that out of here. The reason we get everything down for sure is because Liliana number 2 could happen. Since Thrun wasn't dying this turn because they were tapped out and they don't have anything that can target it anyways, I probably should have considered playing Vraan after, maybe they would have blocked, but probably not. Playing Vraan after the combat step could have been good practice, though. Trespasser. Dude, the opponent's deck is super scary, man. Oh my goodness. Plaza of Heroes is open, luckily. Wedding announcement. Oh my goodness, guys. The question is, do we go Vraan, block Sheoldred, and then go Plaza of Heroes? We have enough land. Like, we don't need this much land. Or do we go Vraan, Tenacious Underdog? Take 4, take another 2 from Sheoldred. Maybe it was the Sheoldred trades last time, since... Take 3. Let's just take 4. I think we're in trouble. Keep the Vraan around, though. Definitely need to see something that's not land off the top here. So the problem is they can blitz that back, but at least now they'll actually have to pay the blitz. Okay, Jadar would have been great early on, man. We have Thrun as a blocker. We have the Plaza of Heroes open still. We have Jadar as a blocker too, technically. Yeah, the only hope... Oh, we're at 2, though. They could just pass the turn. Aw, man. Well, that's a shame. Hey, maybe they'll swing instead of just passing. You never know, because we need one of our creatures to die. And then we'll gain 4. And then we protect, like, the Thrun with the Plaza. It's a lot safer just to pass, since they know we have nothing in hand. And Trespasser isn't picking anything up. Yeah. They're just passing. Hey, good game. Good game, opponent. Guys, I gotta say it. I gotta say the thing. I think this could have gone either way. I really do. That's a good one, man. We really... Oh, another Sheoldred. So, I guess if I would have let them keep Trespasser, traded the Sheoldreds, we might have actually still been in that. That might have been the play that put the nail in the coffin for us. Because our other Sheoldred off the top there, that could have really started to pull us back. Like, the Thrun's disgusting, dude. Like, you see how Thrun just, like, does a thing, and it just, like, it has, like, that stopping power. It just stays there on the board. Ah, man. And then, like, if you're up against green, by some miracle, you see somebody else playing green, it's still really hard to remove the 5/5 from a green deck, so... Okay, another good hand. Braids would have been decent. Anything that would have helped us draw a little more. I think the Wandering Emperor onto the Sunslayer was really good for the opponent there, too, so... We will mill ourselves. Oh, Jadar in the grave. Okay, Tenacious Underdog again. That's interesting. Oh, Golgari? Huh. That is interesting. Get the Plaza down. We'll get the... actually, I'll start with the Vermin and then the Ashnod. Give it a little bit more onto this board state. There goes the Glissa. Totally fine, totally fine. We can swing here successfully. That's fun. I guess I should have swung before we could have cheesed the 1 damage through. We still might cheese it through because obviously that's a really good block for us. Nice. And then we go -1 on the Underdog. It automatically did it for us, which is nice. Seeing the go for the throat last turn would have been good. We do have all 4 of them too, so... Dual Thief. Nice, dude. Okay. So we have everything we need here, really. Swinging with Ashnod, if they end up blocking. We could sacrifice Vermin, the -1 not doing too much, but getting the Power Stone could be good, 1 step closer to the 5. Or we could just... See, they have the treasure too. We might just decline. They don't know we have the Braids for the turn. I'd rather sacrifice a creature with the Braids and have them sacrifice Jewel Thief, which I don't think they do. But this trade would be quite the trade up. Wow. I guess we accept this fate, right? A 1 mana card for a 3 mana card. Get the Braids down. At this point, I guess I don't activate the ability. We do get a draw, though, since they don't have a creature. But I'm concerned about a Liliana, guys. I really am. Whatever. Let's get that card draw. More land. Oh, no. Undead Butler. Okay. Mill 3 cards. When it dies, you may exile it. When you do, return target creature card from your graveyard to your hand. Okay, cool. Sheoldred. Nice, dude. Okay. Don't need the other wastes down right now. I wouldn't mind the Ashnod. It's just Sheoldred for the turn, right? It's definitely rough not having anything for the Braids, but... Alright, let's see. They bring Jewel Thief back, right? I would assume. They have 2 mana open. Surprisingly not a go for the throat from the opponent. But I guess... Oh, curtains. Okay, yeah. Sheoldred down. No removal for it. Could get rid of a land. And draw a card, right? Like, we don't need this much land. You know what? I'm gonna do it. I talked myself into it. Opponent? Come back, opponent. No. Aw, man. Well, they must not have had much removal in hand or something for being a Golgari deck. GG, I would have loved to see more of their deck. Because I'm kind of sort of confused as to what the heck they were playing. There we go, right into the next one. Opponent, what you bringing to the table, buddy? Bringing some power. Oh, okay, yep, we got them all again, don't we? No turn 1. Yep. We go first here. Ditch one of the Thruns. Wow, these are bad hands. We can't go down to 5, though. Now, this is much better than the first one. Got a Junji and a Thrun. Get that Vermin down. I guess we'll mill ourselves. I'm a little concerned that we're going to get rid of all the land now. Aw, and one of the cards that cares about the graveyard, too. Okay, there's some land, though. No turn 2, unfortunately. Uh-huh, 2 mana open. One of them's blue. I feel like we've been here before. Is this deja vu, guys? Okay, we'll start with the swing. I don't think Glissa makes it onto this board, guys, but maybe we can get a removal spell out of the opponent's hand, like a cut down. Alright, decisions. Go for the throat open, or let Sunslayer get picked up by a Make Disappear. Depends what yeah, it really depends what we see off the top. Alright, we're gonna try the Sunslayer. Even if it's not a Make Disappear, go for the throat. Could hit it for the turn 2. It sure does. Sunslayer's out of here, man. Having 2 5-mana cards, 3 mana on the board. 2 land in a row wouldn't be that bad, but not doing anything for those 2 turns outside the go for the throat. It's a pretty good swing here, isn't it? Well, I mean, not a pretty good one. I mean, we cheese the damage through is what I'm saying. Because they don't want to block there. Jadar comes down and we don't have removal open. I really should have kept the wastes open. The auto tapper. You know, make them think that maybe we have a cut down in hand or something. But at this point, maybe they think we have some form of protection in hand too now instead. Four mana. Okay, no Sheoldred. They just keep the sleeper open. There's some mana for us. Okay. So go for the throat. Keep Jadar back, swing with the Vermin, swing with the 2/2, and then after they waste some mana on Sleeper, we'll go for the throat or something, right? I think that's fine. Gonna generate another 2/2. More land next turn would be good, because Thrun is gonna be so good against this deck. So good, dude. Are they gonna use the ability? I guess they can do it after the fact, after we target, huh? Crap, I didn't think about that. I guess I'm going to... Okay, it passes back to them. So, yeah, after we target with the -1/-1, so they want to make sure we lose the Vermin. Then they can activate it. Okay, okay. Up to a 3/3. I say we wait this out. Is that acceptable? I don't know. I'd rather hit a Sheoldred next turn or something with the go for the throat, so. 5 mana. Trespasser's terrible, dude. Oh, man. Okay. Okay. Yeah, they hit the Sunslayer. That makes the Junji's death ability a little worse. Unless we get something a little better in the grave. Go for the swing. Yeah, we better just take this out, guys. We better hit it. Still got 2 mana, so if it's like a make disappear. Okay. We don't want to hit Trespasser with that. We don't have too much to discard. Another go for the throat, not bad. Except we're still just chilling with these 2 5-mana cards. Ah, it was a really bad starting hand, wasn't it? Who knows? Maybe they'll take the 2. I really doubt it. Alright. Keep the go for the throat open. Eee, it's nighttime now, though. Dude, these Trespassers have really been gobbling up my graveyard. Luckily, we haven't had, like, too much interaction with the graveyard. But, like, I mean, still, we do have a little bit in here that's supposed to work with the grave. Should we hit it? Probably not. Probably not. The ward cost is just too steep when we're running so low on cards. Kaito, oh man. Oh jeez, guys. These decks have been pretty brutal that we're up against. I'd love to see... Maybe the meta's taken a huge shift, though. I wouldn't expect a shift, honestly. It phases out anyways. I'm just going to keep the go for the throat. There we go. Yeah, Junji not being able to hit too much here. Thrun getting around a counterspell is huge for us, man. Absolutely huge. Oh, I should have swung with the 2/2 first. Yeah, overall, Thrun should do a lot, and it might actually just help us win the game. Against a Mire, dude, I really just don't even know. Yeah, we should have swung first, but it's fine. You guys know me. I get a little hasty. I like to slam out my cards. My favorite part. Favorite part of the game is slamming cards on the board. Yeah, they ended up keeping the sleeper back, so I mean they're down to 15. The Kaito phase out is so good. Unless they had some form of combat trick or a successful way to have us sacrifice the Thrun, then
Our eyes are everywhere.
then they might be in trouble here. Sheoldred's good too. But that is why we kept the go for the throw. Actually, I think I'm going to just hold on to it for now. Down to 12. Is that too risky? Yeah, I want to play Junji for the turn. That's what I want to do. I'm indestructible here. We're going to swing at the Kaito, I think. A simple block. Swing at face with the 2/2. Like I said, we could full swing at Kaito, but then if they don't want to block anywhere, they could just take the 7 to the Kaito. But if we split this up a little bit, okay, so Kaito dies, not bad. We're still getting another 2/2. We have go for the throat if we want to keep it open, but I think it's Junji. I do. It might even prevent them from swinging next turn. Or it could get countered and then we're in trouble. That's true. Oh no. Alright, we might have to block with the Jadar, especially since we have Jadar number 2 here. So realistically, if they remove the Jadar, we're just dead this turn. The 1's getting through. Okay. They have Mirex open. Dude. Insane deck lists with some insane power, huh? I've been seeing more Dimir, but they honestly feel like the Dimir lists haven't been doing that great. This list looks crazy, dude. Remember, we're going down to 9 because of the Sheoldred. And the 1's slipping through because it can't be blocked. So down to 3. Actually, yeah, we were... Wait. Could we not use Go for the Throat before the draw? Am I missing something? Either way, we're going to want to do this turn now anyways. 3 mana open. I guess it could be a full counter spell. I guess we were tapped out. He's rough, man. Thrun can be open. Glutton wraps up the game soon, probably. Especially if, like, Sheoldred number 2 lands. I guess Gnawing Vermin's a little better than the Jadar here, because Gnawing Vermin, okay, make disappear number 2. Gnawing Vermin can actually hit the 1/1 after the block, but they don't have first strike or anything. Okay, Decayed can't block. So we swing with that. We keep Thrun back. I think all they got to do is generate the Mirex token, and that's that, because the Glutton picks up 2 creatures from the grave, and then this one gets through. Unfortunately, if we still had Vermin, they didn't generate a Mirex token. They're just buffing the Sleeper instead. Okay. I guess milling is terrible here because of the Glutton, but we did cast 2, so the Trespasser only deals 1, but they could play like another Trespasser from hand and stuff. There's so many ways for the opponent to wrap up this game, guys. So they pick up 1. Yeah, I think the Mirex would have been the best bet, but they probably just have something in hand, is what I'm thinking. Then we go -1 on the 1/1. Yeah, because then the token would have gotten through there. Oh, Sheoldred. Well, good game, opponent. It really was a good game, though, wasn't it? It really was. Again, Thrun just staying on the board against all of these decks, but these decks look terrifying, dude. Holy cow, man. I actually did have fun that game. Yeah. How far are we? 38 minutes in? The deck is definitely a little slower than some of the more fast-paced ones I put together. I think we have time. Let's do this. I think we have time. Like, if we can get a 5-minute game in and then take 5 minutes to go over the build, too. It's been pretty good so far. I don't know. I mean, like, it's not like... It's not bad. I don't know if I'd label it jank. I guess it's a little janky. Realistically, I think there's just maybe a little bit of a better way to get the numbers to, or optimize the numbers a little bit better, huh? Okay, we have Vraan next turn. Okay, mono red, and they went first. Vraan, you gotta gain us some serious life, buddy. We're in trouble. Monastery Swift Spirit, nice. The Foundry slowing them down a little bit. No play with fire this turn is good news. Vraan just gets picked up immediately, dude. Maybe we just keep the Go for the Throat open to hit that Swift Spear when it comes time. Commando flips next turn. Vrann's a goner, dude. There's no way. There's no way it survives here. We keep Go for the Throat open because turn 3 we have Vraan and Vermin, and there's a chance that we actually get a good block with the Vermin, and then the Vraan gains us a little bit of life. Power up Foundry Swing for 6. We hit Swift Spear with the Go for the Throat. Nice. It's a good turn for us, guys. We can't hit Foundry because it's an artifact. Etching wouldn't be a bad one to hit too, because it's gonna exile Vermin, but no. Yeah, it's Swift Spear. Swift Spear gets out of hand. Okay, Wastes, and it's got to be Vraan, Gnawing Vermin, and hopefully Old Rutstein can get us an extra chump blocker. Braids could have been good, but no. Yeah, the exile's rough, but we're really looking at that life gain on Vraan. Power up Foundry again could be good, and then have like a 1 mana spell right there. Oh, and then 1 damage to the Vermin. We don't have the block anymore, but the Vraan still gains us a little bit of life, and we could... Oh, no, it doesn't, because of the exile. Yeah, what am I saying, dude? It has to be death. At that point, we better just pick up the Etching with the block, man. As terrible as that is, Etching needs to die. If I would have taken Etching last turn, then the Swift Spear would have been swinging in for 3 that turn. I don't know, man. Tough decisions. They still have Foundry. We're down to 7 because Red knows how to plug damage. If we went Rutstein and then didn't see a creature off the top, that would be really bad for us. Whereas at least the Warden has 4 toughness, so... Oh wait, Rutstein has 4 toughness too. But, I mean, this can pick up a lot more creatures. Mana down to 6. I still feel like they're going to power up Foundry here, and then we probably block Swift Spear? Where do we even want to block here, man? Oh, we really needed that life gain. Oh, the exile, dude. Etching's still so good on so many levels. I guess we take out Foundry. It's too much of a problem. The biggest threat is just play with fire our face, then Swift Spear ends it. Or gets us closer to ending it, right? Jadar. Alright, so we go Rutstein because there's a chance of hitting a land off the top and then ramping into Jadar. Nice. Alright, opponent. Let's see if you got the other invasion in hand. Until then, I hold it back. See, Etching doesn't flip. Actually, I'm going to swing with our Saproling. Yeah, down to 19. Let's go. Now, this is a board state, guys. This Vraan would have been excellent here. Chandra, holy cow, dude. Yeah, Chandra ends the game in a few turns, so now we're gonna need to start targeting that too. They got 2 mana still. It could just be a lightning strike.
Watch me heat up the dance floor.
I thought it was gonna be for a second there. Bloodthirsty Adversaries of 3/3. They can't swing. Wrenn and 7. Vraan! Wow. Vraan's on this board, guys. Let's do this. It all comes down to what they see off the top, too, but, like, this is great. I'm gonna swing at that Chandra. See where they end up blocking, too. I don't think they end up double blocking. Swing at Chandra. Swing at face, because that's going to be replaced, and it can't block anyways. Other than that, we keep all the chump blockers back, because you never know what they see off the top. Okay, go to the blocking step, see what they do. They probably want to... Okay. So make sure we take out the Chandra. We're gaining 2 here. Unfortunately, we still would have gained the 2 from the zombie too, but we really want to make sure that Chandra is out of the equation. And then the hope here, of course...
I know you can do better.
is that they don't see burn off the top. Because now that we're back up to 5, we have our 3 blockers. Etching! Why? Why etching? I forgot, yeah, exile off the etching again, so we still have really tricky blocks here. Oh, crap. Okay. Do I actually block Vraan into etching? They might not even swing, but if they don't, then they're in trouble. So, Old Rutstein blocks the 3/3. And we could chump. Okay, etching, yep, okay. We could take 4, and we could keep the Vraan. We could chump with Jadar, it gets exiled, so Vraan doesn't do anything for us. Etching needs to die. We could double block etching. No, then that's 5 damage. I was gonna say we could go Old Rutstein. This is tricky, man. This is really tricky. Down to 3's bad, not gaining life off the Vraan though. Down to 1's worse. Unless we can figure out how to get rid of this etching somehow. I don't think we're going to be able to get rid of that etching, guys. I don't. We should draw off of this, huh? I'm risking it. There's a chance that we actually see a go for the throat or something too. Braids isn't bad, but again, the exile. Oh, Sheoldred. Go for the throat. Dude. Wow. Down to 1 though. Tricky business. First of all, right? Another 1/1. We're going to be gaining a little bit here. Swing here. Should I keep that for the reach? Yeah, because they could see Phoenix Chick off the top, right? Successfully swing with Vraan now that we have so many chump blockers. Get a little bit more damage through, right? Back up to 3, and I hope they don't see Lightning Strike off the top. Or one of the invasions. There's probably a lot they can do here. Probably a ton of stuff they can do. Although, we can sacrifice a sapling on their turn. This says nothing about sorcery speed. I like triple checked that. So, if it's Lightning Strike to face, it's a mountain, dude. We might be in this. We might actually be in this. Back up to 5. Ashnod. Oh my goodness. Dude. We have some decent swings here. So I guess we start with the swings now. I guess it's not as much as I would have hoped, but I think they might take this. Because we can power up the Primeval Warden quite successfully. And then we still have like the 2 damage from the Vraans and everything, so this is looking great for us now, guys. It really is. At that point, we are going to go Braids over the Thrun. Generating some goodies, sacrificing the thing that can't be... So they could take the 2, but then we still have this to activate on their turn whenever it passes priority back. Oh no, we don't have any saplings, never mind. These are insects. They say GG. I say GG. There it is, guys. Let's go. That's awesome. What a great final match against Mono Red. Almost got there. They almost got there, like big time. Mono Red still very, very scary. And Vraan, seeing the second Vraan was so good. So good. Okay. Let's go over the deck list one more time, guys. Wow. That was awesome. All right. Almost got the quests done here. What we got? We got a pack. We got Lord of the Rings. All right, what do we got here? Let's see. Let's see. Oh, that's what you like to see, huh? Rare wild card. Nice. The best thing to get out of a pack for sure. Golgari Legends. All right. Here's the deck list again, guys. Oh, we didn't get to see Corrupted Conviction today, but I think it would have been fine. How about that Primeval Warden? Those extra saplings? Pretty crazy, dude, huh? Jadar was great. Vraan was probably an MVP, right? I think so. The exile on the etchings were super annoying. The exiles in general are really there's just too much exiling in standard, and that's why you don't see too much like graveyard shenanigans going on. Unfortunately, there's just too much exiling going on in every deck. Like, even just like the Sunfall builds, obviously Sunfall just exiles. Then you got anywhere between Dimir, Orzhov, and Mono Black running the Graveyard Trespasser that's just picking up everything in the grave. Then you got Etching, so when your creatures die to damage, they get exiled too. So it makes it very tricky, man. I liked the Gnawing Vermin, although there's not enough graveyard interaction in here to actually warrant milling yourself sometimes, although it still kind of sort of makes sense to want to mill yourself, and I still liked it as like a potential creature that we could sacrifice to do the -1/-1 to as well. Ashnod was it was good, right? It was fine. Didn't get to see the one Cult Conscript. I would probably drop down to 3 Vermins and go up the second Cult Conscript. I do think it might be a little bit better in here. Again, same concept though. If like there's just too much exile. There really, really is, man. Old Rutstein's pretty great. I love it. Kind of feels underplayed, but yeah, again, I brought up Cut Down earlier. Cut Down ruins a lot of really, really cool and kind of sort of strong cards, so. Urg would have been cool to see. We ended up milling it that one time, but that's fine. This is one of the cards that actually cares what's in the graveyard. Same thing with Junji and Ashnod. Like, we actually do care about having cards in the graveyard, just not that often, right? Wrenn and 7 also helping us mill too, and eventually the -7 would have helped us care a little bit too. Wrenn and Realmbreaker is kind of sort of aggressive as well. We ran Wrenn and Realmbreaker in the most recent mono green list, and it's actually just not half bad. I believe it was a 1 of over there as well. If you play a Planeswalker for 3 mana, and right away you can have it be a 5 loyalty, that's like pretty good. That can be relatively difficult for opponents to pick up, and if like they're playing mono red or something, they're focusing face anyways. So like your Wrenn might actually survive a few turns, giving you some card advantage or whatever else you need. Braids would probably see more play if it was loses 2 life and you gain 2 life, but then at that point it would probably be way too strong, and it would pair way too well with the Vraan as well. We had a lot of synergies going on here, man. Felt good. It did. I like the double Thrun. What we faced today, Thrun was good against. The mono red, it was a little bit too slow, I guess, but it's fine. I guess I could see the double Junji and 1 Thrun. That could totally work, but again, all the exile, man. There's too much exile. We gotta figure that out. We gotta get rid of some of the exile in standard, guys. I want more bans. Call for more bans. I'm looking at you, Sheoldred. Nah, Sheoldred's fine, although it still wraps up plenty of games for everybody. Like, Sheoldred's on the board and you're just like sweating the whole time, which is a good reason to keep the 4 go for the thrust, which I think was totally fine having all 4 of these. We really needed to see it in every single game anyways, so yep, all 4. Good stuff, good stuff. I had a lot of fun with this one, guys. Plaza of Heroes was completely fine. The mana base in general was completely fine. It didn't hold us up at all. I would have liked to see that bottom ability on Ashnod at some point, but yeah. Yeah, exiling a creature from your graveyard, generating that, and maybe using those power tokens to ramp into that ability too. Some of those 3/3 colorless zombies could have been really neat, huh? Look at how cool the artwork for the colorless zombies are too. Very, very cool, man. Although, like, yeah, that is really neat artwork. Anyways, guys, enough rambling, huh? If you made it this far into the video for real, y'all are champions. I super duper appreciate you. Let me know what you would add or take out down in the comments, and I will see you in the next video.